In 1989, mail-order video game service Play It Again posted an ad in an issue of Video Games and Computer Entertainment. In this ad, one game has become a legend, because listed for sale was Yeah Yeah Beebiss 1. Since this short-run series of ads, Beebiss was never mentioned again, disappearing as mysteriously as it appeared. Many since have speculated that the game was fabricated as a copyright trap to see if anyone copied their list. Still others say it was a placeholder, or an inside joke, or even an unlicensed game, but nobody could say for certain. That remains true to this day, but in February of 2022, popular YouTuber John Riggs released Yeah Yeah Beebiss 2, a sequel to a missing legend. Welcome to Mike's Gaming Gala, I'm Mike, and this week we're looking at Yeah Yeah Beebiss 2 for the NES, published by MegaCat Studios, in conjunction with Rigged Games. Yeah Yeah Beebiss 2 comes in a professionally printed box, with a manual, and a new injection-molded cartridge in a new sleeve. You can pick this one up at the MegaCat website, or from John Riggs himself, as he brings these and other games to conventions that he attends. Is it worth dropping the cash? Let's see. After a short splash screen, we have a title screen that gives us the option to play a single-player game as either Haoran or Li Jing, or a two-player co-op game where both characters play. For the gameplay here, I played a two-player game with my son, James. Making that choice, we're into level 1. The goal in each level is to kill a set amount of enemies within a time limit. At the top of the screen, on either side are icons showing how many lives you have left, and below that, where it says POW, is your current health. If you lose all your health points, you'll lose a life, but your health resets for each new level. In the center of the stats up top is your score, and beneath that is your remaining time and the amount of enemies you have left to kill before you clear the stage. Every level is a single screen stage with platforms and hazards, and actions you can perform are just jump and attack. Your attacks here are very short range. Haoran has a lightning blast and Li Jing has sonic waves that drain life force. Functionally though, they're identical. Aside from sprite differences, there is no reason to pick one over the other. Throughout the game, there are 3 types of enemies. Death masks, which pace back and forth, dragons, which will throw their long tail out to attack, and floating eyes. You can't kill the eyes, but if you zap them, they'll collapse for a short time before coming back to continue to roam. Like I said before, your attack is very short range, so you'll have to run around like a madman, getting up close to each foe to blast them. Throughout your game, some enemies will drop items that can help you. You can get coins, which add 100 points to your score, clocks, which will freeze enemies on the screen, as well as your timer, 15-second boosts for that timer, hearts that will add extra hit points to your POW meter, and finally, an invincibility potion that makes you immune to enemies, as well as spikes. Every 10 levels, you'll have a boss fight, and it's interesting. Floating in the middle of the screen is this. Covered in eyes and mouths, it looks like something straight out of The Thing. Forget lightning zaps and life-draining waves, we need RJ McCready in here. Like every other level, you have a time limit, and you have to climb up to the platform beside this beast, jump at it, and give it a blast. Just keep doing this until it's dead. During your battle, death masks will spawn at the bottom to hinder you, and tentacles will pop up through the dirt. Both of these, though, are really easy to avoid. Just get back up to the platforms as quick as you can, and you should be fine. To add to the easiness, actually touching the boss doesn't hurt you, so no need to be gingerly with your jumps. Just yeet yourself at it and mash that attack button. Defeating the boss takes you to level 11, which is identical to level 1 aside from a palette change. Level 12? Yeah, it's level 2 again. And so on until you reach level 20 to fight the same boss again and advance to level 21, which is again level 1 with a different palette. In fairness, when playing, I did notice that death masks started shooting green slime, But aside from the colors changing, this game only has 10 levels and they repeat over and over again. My son and I pressed forward though. After a couple rounds, we had the pattern memorized and the game became super easy. It's definitely more difficult in single player mode, but if you're playing with a friend, just divide the screen up into sections that you'll take care of and conquer it that way. Eventually, we started to have conversations about how far do we go, because we genuinely felt like we could play this thing indefinitely without losing. Thankfully though, reaching and beating level 100 gives you this end screen saying congratulations and giving you your final score. And that's Yeah Yeah Beebiss 2 for the NES. So what did I think? Honestly, it's not quite there for me. The graphics are fantastic, the music is great, the presentation of everything is very professional, but the gameplay itself is lacking. That's not to say it plays badly, it certainly doesn't, just that the gameplay here is shallow. Aside from the invulnerability potion, there really are no power effects that affect the game mechanics themselves. It would be really nice to have a weapon power-ups, or maybe a double jump ability, or just something else that mixes things up and keeps the game fresh. That combined with the fact that honestly this only has 10 levels. Despite them being looped up to 100, there are only 10 levels. It's hard to justify the purchase price. Now, as a concept, I really like it. I'd love to see John and his team work on a Yeah Yeah Beebiss 3 that has more levels and power-ups. Then, I think it would be a lot of fun to play through. As it is though, not a bad game, just not quite enough in my opinion. Thank you for watching my video, I hope you liked it, and thank you so much to my channel members. I appreciate your support so much. As always, my contact info is in the description, and we'll see you next time on Mike's Gaming Gala.